y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Hello, hope y'all doing well. Thank you for joining me today. I'm very grateful. And this is your first time watching this video. My name is Naftali Kungu. I make content on motivation. So today's video, I'm gonna be talking about fears in relationships. I found myself in relationships before. I was too scared of being by myself. I found myself in times where I felt like I was lonely. I would go back to what I knew. I would go back to relationships that I felt really comfortable in. And I would go back because I knew this person would take me back. And I knew if I went to this person, I wouldn't have to deal with any of my problems because there would be that little buffer where between me and my problems, and they will stand in between them so I can kind of fake, I can have this fun with them, but then later on still have those problems. Those problems are still on my back. Those problems are still in my mind, still like circling. So even if I'm with this person, I'm not enjoying myself because I truly can't be present in the moment to allow myself to be enjoyous of any situation, because in my mind there's bombs going on because I'm trying to figure out a problem, and me being in this situationship, this relationship, hindering that process because I'm stopping myself from successfully dealing with my problems because I'm using this person as a buffer. The reason I'm saying this is because as this generation, we had a tendency of being in a lot of relationship at an early age as a way for us to run away from our problems. I found myself to be going back every time I'm going through something. Every time I'm going through something, whether it's a big change, whether it's career change, where I'm dealing with something, I go back to somebody where I feel super comfortable, and I end up messing up that friendship even more than it already is because I'm using that person for that moment to help me run away from my problem. And it's not abnormal for us to be dealing with problems, and it's not abnormal for us to deal with that with other people. But if you're trying to grow like I am, you will find yourself in these patterns, and we kind of lock ourselves in these patterns because all we know is if I'm going through something, oh, I know these people are gonna help me, and not help me, but they're gonna help me distract me from dealing with my problem. And when I see myself, because I've seen myself do this multiple times, I'm going through a situation, I'm going through a big change in life, and I was like, I can't sleep. That's the worst time I make the worst decisions. When I can't sleep, I'm looking at the ceiling in my bed, I'm like, damn, who can I call? Instead of dealing with my problems, I'm thinking about who can I call to distract me from my problem. And when I end up texting this person, I'm bringing up all this drama from the past, because the way we ended, we didn't end in a clean slate. So if I go back to them, there's no trust, which is very fundamental in any relationship. There's already a certain uncertainty, because if you always go back to somebody when there's a problem, when there's an issue, it's always gonna be that doubt in the back of my mind of, why is this person back? When is this person gonna leave again? So when you find yourself in those situations, those relationships end up getting worse and worse and worse. And those relationships that are meant to be super beautiful end up getting rotten because you're coming back with all this baggage. You're not dealing with any of your emotional problems, any of your physical problems, any of your past traumas. You bring that all to this person. Though you're not uttering all those problems to them, your body language, your energy is gonna be encircling y'all every time you guys are interacting. You're using the time that you're supposed to be by yourself. You're using that time you're supposed to be dealing with those problems with yourself, and then you bring all that energy, all those things are in your mind, those things that are bothering you. You bring all that energy into this relationship. And in a relationship, I believe a relationship is supposed to help you grow. The person who's next to you, the person who you're with, is supposed to help you grow and move on to the next picture, or move on to the next, or transcend to the next part of your life. I see a lot of people, when they're dealing with something, they have so much trauma in their life. I do too. We have all this traumas because we don't talk about it. We don't go to therapy. We don't have any methods of dealing with this because, one, our school system is not teaching us this. Most of our parents are dealing with this, so they don't know how to deal with it. And our friends are all going through this, so we don't have any outlet. Nobody teaching us how to deal with our problems. So I see all these people dealing with all these things, and I'm like, me myself too, and I'm like, so how are we supposed to transcend this? Because it's a pattern. Always aware of patterns. A pattern is the same thing, same result over and over and over and over again. And I read this quote before. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. Now, when we do those things over and over again, we're delaying our process of healing, our process of coming up with solutions with our problem. Now, in our relationships, when we use other people as buffers. We use either sex, we use drugs, alcohol as a buffer from dealing from our problem. In the moment, it feels great. Everything is great. Everything is sunshines and rainbows. But we're putting water, we're adding things to it. A cup that doesn't have a bottom. So it doesn't matter how much you fill up that cup. It doesn't matter how much you put into it. All going to the ground. It's all being wasted. So when we go to all these people, we're trying to fulfill our needs, try to use these people as solutions with either vices to deal with our problems. Those problems are never fixed. I watched this show called Severance. This show, the concept is your work life and your personal life are separated. So you don't know what you do at work, and the person at work does not know what they're going through at home. So the main character is dealing with the death of his wife, and he was like, the only reason I see a solution with dealing with this to this job situation where they take your memory off of your personal life and all you can focus on is work. But it doesn't matter if you can't remember or you're not consciously thinking of your problem. Your problems are always there. They're always hunting your dreams. They're always hunting your relationship. They're ruining things that are supposed to be beautiful in your life. The problems that you're dealing with, everybody's dealing with similar problems. You're not the only one in this world to have ever dealt with this kind of thing. Imagine, because we have this tendency of thinking we're special. You're special, but not really, because there's 7 billion people on this earth, and God knows how many people have lived. So you're telling me you're the only person who's ever dealt with what you're dealing with? I don't believe so. So we have this tendency to say, oh, me, I'm the only one doing this, but you're not the only one. And when you use all these vices to deal with your problems, you end up hurting new opportunities, new relationship, and you're not doing anything different. You're gonna be, so am I, if I don't learn how to deal with these problems. You're gonna be 60, 70, 45 with kids dealing with the same problems you've been dealing with since you were 10, since you were 13, since you were 18. There are solutions to these problems. One solution I use is I journal. Let me get my journal. Bye. One of the solutions I use is I journal. The reason journaling is so great is because I have all these thoughts. I overthink a lot. I'm an overthinker. I can't help it. I don't know how to stop it. I overthink about the littlest thing. But when I journal, I see those words. I see my thoughts and my ideas on paper. And it gives me the ability to stop fantasizing, to stop. It gives me the ability to stop overanalyzing situations. What I jot it down, I take it from my brain, I put it on paper. Because seeing it and thinking about it is two different things. When I'm overthinking, there's all these situations, all these possible outcomes, but when I write it down, I take it from my brain on paper and I'm able to move on. This is not a permanent solution. Writing down things is not a permanent solution. It's a solution, but not a permanent one. I have many of these. I recommend writing daily. It might help if you're trying to build a business, if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, writing down ideas, writing down what you're going through. So this is my whole concept. I date everything, like the day. So like I'll look back 5 years from now and I see what I was going through, and it's like puts everything in perspective. I'm like, wow, I was really going through this. So I write the date. I ask myself questions like, for example, how are you doing? Where are you? What do you want to happen next in your life? And then sometimes I don't even do this. Sometimes I just write what I'm going in anger, in happiness, in joy, in sadness. I just write. Writing is a form of expression. So is video making, so is music, is a lot of art is also a form of expression. So finding an outlet to be able to get your thoughts from your brain, which is over analyzing everything and not coming up with any solutions, and writing it down helps everything materialize in a way. So definitely recommend journaling. Everybody should be journaling. No matter what profession, no matter what stage you are in your life, you should journal. Another one, comment. I don't know if it works for you. I haven't really tried it yet, but I am going to try it. It's on my schedule to talk to a therapist. And I have a fear of being vulnerable. I have a fear of letting somebody else come into my brain and analyzing. I like to be the person analyzing. I don't know if I like to be analyzed so much. So that's a fear I'm gonna be conquering. Currently I don't have a therapist, but I do. It's on my to-do list to get a therapist, somebody who I can talk to monthly or every couple weeks, just to be able to talk to a professional who knows what I'm dealing with and who knows and has dealt with people dealing with certain situations. I believe journaling and therapists is the solutions I've come up with. If you have any other advices, tell me down on the comments. Yeah, and so people can learn. I'm not the only one going through this, and you're not the only one going through this. So I believe if you are inspiring to better yourself, better your life, better your relationships, I inspire you, I implore you to do better, try to better yourself, because eventually you don't want to be stagnant in life. So if you're out there, I always say this, if you're out there, you're not alone. I'm here for you. You can email me, respond to you, talk to you. I'm always going to be there. So yeah, thanks you for the love. Thank y'all for the videos and the subscriptions and everything you're doing. more videos to come, and I really enjoy inspiring and motivating people. Let me know if I can make any improvements. I'm always open for suggestions. I'm not hardened in my ways. I'm always looking for guidance. So yeah, thank you for watching, and peace and love.